Welcome back to another episode of Getting Personal. I'm here today with Patricia. How would you
Patricia.
pronounce your name?
in,
Patricia?
in Portuguese is Patricia.
Patricia,
Exactly.
co-founder of SentX. How are you doing today, Patricia?
I'm doing great, Jack. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here. We are really exciting because, as you know, I'm representing SentX. That's why I'm saying that we are really exciting. And it's going to be a great one. I looking forward for all the questions that you are going to ask. I made sure that I saw the post where you asked people to ask for questions, but I made sure to not check that after the fact, so that all the questions are a surprise for me and nothing is prepared in advance.
I love that because I always prefer not to send questions and allow it to be spontaneous. I think that allows for the best conversation. So yeah, let's get straight
Absolutely.
into it. So before we get into your personal story, let's talk Centex for a second because there was a moment last year when you guys just put your foot down, and since then you've been relentless. Like the whole community is aware of that. So can you recall that moment, like when you and the team kind of had that moment of like, okay, we're going to become the leading marketplace on Hedera. Let's go. Like, was there a moment or was there a build up? Like, how was that
Um,
for you guys?
I think it was a build up, in fact, because the way that Syntax was born, in fact, it's all a weird situation because none of this was supposed to happen. You wanted a way to release trends and you love doing art and editing images. So you started doing that. So none of this was ever meant to be the launchpad, the marketplace, capturing most of the volume in terms of the marketplace. So I think it was a build up because we started first with a launchpad and then we thought, okay, something that we are clearly lacking right now, it's a marketplace with more features so that people on Hedera are not as constrained as they are
Mm.
right now, because there wasn't much that you could do at the time concerning a marketplace, and you couldn't bulk list, you couldn't bulk purchase, none of that. So then it became, like I said, it was a build up, and then we thought, okay, now we need to make this happen, and that was the moment where it was stepped against because this needs to happen. That was that moment because we thought, okay, we are going to start a marketplace. It needs to be a good one and it needs to work. It needs to have all the features. Let's not just do what it's already here, because what's the point if you're just going to reproduce what's already in the space? And then Sam went completely crazy in terms of building and coding, and well, what you have right now in front of you, it was the culmination of all this crazy story.
I love it. It actually, the founder of Kabila, Manu, has a similar story. It's so beautiful to see them going from being creators to creating these
Right?
platforms, right? It's
Exactly,
he was an
exactly.
OG creator himself, yeah. So yeah, fascinating story. I love how you emphasize features, and I was listening to you on the spaces yesterday. Features, and more features, and not only that, getting
Hmm.
feedback from the community and more and like improving on the features, right? I really love that about you
Exactly,
guys. Is that
exactly.
at the forefront of everything you do right now?
It is, it is. For us, the most important part, because this is something that we always mentioned from the start. We are not building a platform for us. It's not for myself. It's not for Sam. It's not for our team members. It's for the community. So it needs to work for the community members and for the users. It makes no sense to build a platform for yourself and saying, oh, I really like the looks of this. But then the users come in and they say, oh, that's ugly. And you don't change it because your ego said, no, I want it to be like this. And we don't do that. We are here for the users, for the community. We take feedback very, very seriously, because if we launch a feature and it's not working well for the users, or they would prefer to see that feature but working in another way, we need to adapt and make sure that it works for them. Of course, we cannot do that if only one single person says, oh, I like this, but I would prefer it in another way, because we can't accommodate every single person. But if you have 50 people telling you, this is a good feature, but why not do it like this? In that situation, of course, we are going to readjust, and it's a work in progress. Like you know, with Kabila, it's the same thing. Nothing is ever done. Everything is a work in progress.
Oh yeah. And you
So
kind of answered the question, but like community feedback is crucial, like you say, but where do you draw the line, right? If it's one person, you can't build a custom marketplace for one person.
exactly,
But
there you go.
do you have anything in place to like know where to draw the line? Because I imagine it can get slightly overwhelming
We
sometimes with
okay.
so much
We
feedback.
don't. It's very organic. We don't have, for example, a set guideline where it says, okay, we need 15 people mentioning this for us to change. If we have 5 or 10 and it makes sense for us as well, we will change it. We can have a situation where we have 2 or 3 people mentioning it, and we said, yeah, they are right. It makes sense to readjust, and we will, even if it's a small group, because this is the best thing about not being constrained. For example, we talked about VC funding on the space that we have together. When you are tied to someone else or you got investment from someone else, you probably need to take the decisions to those people as well. We don't have to do that. We can decide absolutely everything internally. So if you have 2 people saying, oh, I like this feature, but it would be a bit better if it worked in another way. If it makes sense for us, sure.
It's really it's a very interesting part of Web3, right? That you're able to build a product in public that's being used, that's not finished, that's a work in progress,
Exactly,
get real time
exactly.
feedback. It's an interesting dynamic, isn't it?
It is. And I think that it works so much better because when you build an entire tool and you launch that after the fact, you will still have feedback, you will still implement the feedback. But I don't know, I think it's a bit different in the sense that you already had all the work to build so many things, and then you will have so many people giving feedback on this area and that area and the other area. And in our situation, we launch a feature. We have feedback immediately on it. And then we will launch another feature and we will have feedback on that again. So it makes it easier, if that makes sense to you, because we will do it step by step.
Yeah.
But we have so many things that we still want to launch. The list is so big. It's crazy. And we only have one dev that it's Sam right now. We definitely want to try to get more fundings to be able to hire more devs, because we definitely need more devs for the team, because it's not easy for one single person, as you can imagine. And it's been more than a year that he's building all of this alone in terms of coding and making the platform is what it is today. So let's see.
It's quite amazing to see how much you guys have accomplished with one dev, right?
Yes, it's insane. It's insane. I think that Sam never sleeps because there's no way that a person can sleep and have a family and do all this and work because Sam works. He works for a company as a dev.
Okay.
So this is not his only work, his only job. He has a job as well. So when you tie all this together, he can't sleep. It's impossible.
It reminds me of Adrian. They're like machines, right? Like machines.
Yeah,
What would you
exactly.
do without them though in this ecosystem?
Exactly. They
It's
they
it's
never
amazing.
stop. It's crazy, crazy.
And you've mentioned VC funding, and you also talked about grants just now as well. Would you like to touch on what happened the other day on Twitter? You
Yeah,
put out a
of
tweet. It got a lot
course.
of attention. It got a lot of engagement, a lot of support.
Hmm.
There was also a lot of heat. Like, how did you
Yeah.
experience that personally?
Um, for me, it's okay, really, because thinking about my personal experience as well. I have my own business for almost 10 years. It's going to be 10 years in April of this year. So as you can imagine, I also have to deal with angry clients from time to time. So that's part of my day to day. It's not something that worries me. It's not something that I take personally. So for me, when I see a comment saying, "Oh, this is a situation where you are being really," take that personally. I don't stress about it. And people also need to understand that you can't make this type of platform with almost no funding. It takes a lot of funds. You know this. I'm talking to the best person to understand this situation. It's crazy because you need to properly compensate the ones that work with you. You can't expect them to volunteer forever. And we had our team members volunteering, some of them for more than a year. And this is something that we will never be able to thank them. And when we started giving a compensation, we didn't do it for the time that they were with us because there was no room to do that. We only started doing from the time that we got the initial payment from the HBAR Foundation. So it was in October 2023, and we started sending the first team compensations in November of 2023. And for some people, that represented more than a year of doing volunteer work for SentX. And if this is not a real case of support, I don't know what is, to be honest. So the situation that happened is that we asked for a grant from the Ashcraft Association. That grant was denied back in 2023. And as I saw the tweet from Hedera saying that more funds were going to be sent to the HBAR Foundation, to the Ashcraft Association to help further build the ecosystem, I thought, okay, now we have here a good opportunity to go back to the Ashcraft Association because we had no idea why the grant was denied at that point since there was no feedback on that. It could be like a fund, it could be an enormous variety of things, as you can imagine. So, okay, new funds are going to arrive to the entities that support the project. Let's go to the Ashcraft Foundation and let's ask if we can reapply, in a sense that so many things have happened and we have so many plans for the future that we need funds to be able to build those plans. So let's reach out. Let's try to get some help. Right now, we don't know anything yet at this point. We are still waiting. We had Jerome that talked to the project manager of the Hashcraft Association, but so far it's all I know. I got an email saying that we could reapply, but there was no guarantee because we already got the grant from the HBAR Foundation. So it's this that I don't understand quite as much in the sense that if you go to one and you ask for a grant, why can't you go to the other one and ask for a different grant because it's a different scope, it's different tools, it's a different stage of where you are as a project. We asked for a smaller grant to start with. Now we need more help because, as you know, the liquidity in the HBAR ecosystem is not at its full potential, not even close. And for that reason, we need help to be able to keep building and improve our ecosystem. If it's not coming from the liquidity, we think that it was going to come from the entities that receive the funds from Hedera. But at this point, we are not sure if that's going to happen or not. And let's see.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, when you're a startup and you need as many resources as possible to keep, not
Absolutely.
just survive, but to continue progressing and developing everything that you're working on, you just keep asking, right? I mean, I know Manu, he
Yeah,
spent the last year and year and a half asking everyone and everything, everywhere,
exactly.
every possible place where
Exactly.
they could support. You're going to ask. So I think that's what it comes down to. And then you will get the response that you get. But you ask, and maybe you ask 10 times.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is a thing where we are, and this is something that some people mention as well. The fact that maybe rugs were funded in the past, maybe people are worried about funding us and we would disappear or something like that. If we were going to do that, we would not request for a loan because we applied for the HBAR Foundation in December of 2022, and we got the first milestone payment 10 years later. During this time, those 10 months period, it was a hard time for us in the sense that, okay, we were not compensating team members, but we had to pay for everything that was related to the platform, all the subscriptions, all the we were with Azure at the time, so we had to pay all the hosting and everything that was connected to the platform in terms of costs. So we had to pay that, and the volume was so low that what we were making per month was not enough for us to be able to pay that, even if we weren't compensating anyone from the team, and absolutely anyone, not Sam, not myself, not any of our other team members. And we came to a decision that it was okay, either we stop developing and we can't fund the platform, or we ask for a loan, because we could ask for a loan and pay interest on that. And that was our decision. So if we are going to exit the ecosystem, we would not do this. We would not ask for a loan, because if you ask around, how many project founders ask for a loan to be able to maintain a platform until there's help from the entities that receive the funds from Hedera? I can assure you that there's not a lot doing that. And if this doesn't show how serious we are about the ecosystem, I don't know what does, in fact. So
Well, I think there's many things, including the fact that you've been, building the leading marketplace within the ecosystem. Everyone's been using it this last year, and I think one thing that we saw with that tweet is that you have, I'd say a majority or a large portion of the community, especially those
yeah,
who buy and sell NFTs. They're part of the HR NFT
exactly.
ecosystem. You have them behind you. You have their support, right? And I think that was a really beautiful thing to witness.
I was, that was the part that surprised me a lot, because I wasn't expecting that amount of support, and it was really great to see, because you know that you are doing a lot, you know that you are building a lot, and we have people saying you are doing a great job, but at that scale, it was so big in terms of support and people retweeting and commenting and saying you deserve everything that you asked for and things like that. It was really great to see. I was not expecting that at that extent in terms of support that we have.
Yeah, I think it really instigated some interesting conversation as well amongst different parties. So I think the outcome was really positive overall. I'd love to talk about your personal journey a little bit. You mentioned that you've had a business for the last 10 years. I know you have your own NFT collection as well.
I
But
do,
before
I do.
Web3, who was Patricia before Web3, and what led you into Web3? Tell me a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of education, for example, I was always someone that was super, super curious, and I had to do a lot of degrees. I spent a lot of time in university because that's an important part of who I am in terms of having more culture, more education. So to let you know, I have a degree in translation English French. I have a degree in international relationship and political science. I have a master's. And this is the part that scares everyone. I have a master's in criminal psychology and forensic science. See, your
I
reaction
love it.
said everything.
I love it.
I have another master's in Homeland Security. So as you can see, the part that I really focused myself, it's something, things that I love, and I wanted to grow my knowledge about those. And this ties to crypto in the sense that I started hearing about crypto way back, about Bitcoin. As you know, we all start hearing about Bitcoin. I'm sure that no one is here because the first coin that they heard of was HBAR, or it was Bitcoin. There's no way around that. And I thought, okay, yeah, this is nice, this is cool, great, people are making a lot of money. But I didn't care much at the time because I was also busy. It was when I was starting my business, and as you can imagine, starting a business is not an easy task.
Yeah.
So I was really busy and I forgot all about that Bitcoin thing. So it was the last time that it had made an all-time high, the 20K all-time high. And I forgot about it for a bit. Then in early 2019, I started thinking, okay, uh, crypto. Let's get back to this, and I really need to investigate and dig. This is why I was telling you that my education shows that I need to dig, I need to know more, I need to learn about the things that I care. So I started investigating about Bitcoin, about crypto. What is this about? Let me see if I can try to understand the technology and everything. And when I was sure, I thought, okay, now I want to invest in this. So I bought my first purchase of Bitcoin because it was also Bitcoin, of course. And then after that, I started to discover, oh, here's another thing. We have Ethereum, and then we have this, and we have that, and we have that. And I ended up having I don't want to lie to you, but I want to say over 30 different tokens on the last that I started buying on the last bear market. So the one before this one, because I was here already for one bear market and one bull market, and now one full bear market. So I already have a bit of experience in this crypto cycles and roller coaster, as I like to call it, and this is something that a lot of people do. And it was it pretty much. Then I started investigating. I started being really connected with the XRP community. I started creating content for an XRP crypto platform. So my content creation history started there, in fact. I was creating content there for more than a year. Then I needed a little step back because I started to reach a burnout stage. I was creating content pretty much almost every day, every single day for more than a year. And it was too much. Then I had to take a bit of a step back. I took a little break from crypto communities. And it was when a friend of mine that is also part of the HBAR community, Kuro Kojan, told me about, do you know that HBAR also has an NFT scene? I was like, what? I have HBAR for a long time, but I had no idea that they had an NFT scene. And when he told me about that, I started digging a bit more. I minted my first that pixel for 200 HBARs. So this
Wow.
was one of my first mints on Hedera, my little guy, 200 HBARs. And after that, roller coaster effect, snowball effect, actually, because right now I have over 800 HBAR NFTs.
A couple.
So yeah, a couple, just a couple. A couple for a hoarder. This is what a hoarder considers a couple. Like over 800 couple hoarder terms.
When did you meet Sam? Like, how did that happen? And you joined the team, and why did you
Yes.
decide to join SentX? What was the moment it happened, and you like, this is for me, right? This is what I want.
So Sam was also via Kurokogen. He was already a part of the Hedera Sentient at the time because we rebranded to SentX.
Mhm.
So Kuro was already part of the Hedera Sentient Discord at the time, and at the time it was only the art collections. And he told me about it. You need to check this out. I have a lot of NFTs from Sam. He's a great guy. He joined the Discord. And I did. I started talking with Sam. Then Kuro became a SentX team member or an Hedera Sentient team member at the time. And he told Sam, hey, you should talk to Patricia and see if she wants to become a team member as well. And at that time, I had already talked with Sam several times. And the thing about Sam is that he's one of the most modest people that you will ever meet. You are talking to Sam and you are saying, you are amazing. You do a great work. Your art is great. And he says, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. But like super modest, you know, and I love that about a person. And when he invited me to be a team member, at that point I already knew that it was a dev. Um, we were already talking about plans of having a launch pad, starting with a launch pad. At the time, there was nothing about the marketplace. It was not even on our minds. It was just going to be a launch pad. So when he invited me to be part of the team, I said right away yes, and it was in September of 2022, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been already a good time as a center.
So you joined, was it just before the bear market? Or like as we were entering the
Um,
bear market? Around about?
Almost. Well, actually, we were already in a bear market,
Mm.
but it was when we were still having towards the end of our Hedera heat wave. Do you remember that time? So
Yeah.
it was then. It was already a bear market at the time, at the technical analysis sense of the words. But we were having for the NFTs, we were having the Hedera heat wave at that time, and it was towards the end of the heat wave that I joined the SentX team. Oh no, no. It was mid of the heat wave. We still had our heat wave for a long time. A long time. Okay, in crypto, you know that 3 months is a long time. So
A
we
lifetime.
still had it for yeah. We still had that heat wave for I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months, and then it stopped and
Yeah.
it started slowing down.
So my next question is, because you've basically lived or had a full year of bear market, right? Being part of the team at SentX, what's been your biggest lesson during this bear market at SentX?
That we need to be really, really patient. And I say this for us team members, and also because this is what we noticed by our community members. Some people get way too impatient in the sense that, and this is about crypto in general, they start to lose hope. And bear markets are like this. Bear markets are designed so that whales can up their banks. And how do you do that? By getting crypto from the ones that give up and sell for cheap. So, well, it's how it works. And
Those
this
who
was
give up, those who
yeah,
give up, basically.
exactly. And we see those when we have the price goes up and then we have those 10, 15% crashes, like that. There's no reason for those. Well, there's a reason for those. People are upping their bags and
Mm.
others are sadly selling. So it's how it works. So the biggest lesson in terms of a bear market as a SentX team member and a crypto member in general, and I had this already from the past one is to be patient because things will improve. It's the nature of this market. It's a cyclical one,
Mhm.
and it's the same in terms of NFTs. It's the same in terms of the tokens. Right now we have okay. Right now, no. In fact, in December the liquidity for H bars NFTs was really, really low. Right now, we are already seeing an improvement. Why? Because people gain a bit more confidence in crypto again, and they know that okay, we are starting to grow up, and if we are starting to grow up, now I'm going to get more involved with crypto again, with NFTs again, and we already see that this month in January things are definitely a lot better in terms of liquidity for NFTs um, than they were past November and past
Mhm.
December. And also, we need to think that November and December are not a great time for people with, for example, in the States, you have Thanksgiving, then you have Black
Yeah.
Friday, then you have Christmas, for us, Christmas in Europe, and you spend a lot of time during November and December, and people don't spend as much in crypto in NFTs because of that as well. So it's pretty normal. But now it's getting better, fortunately.
Yes, it's a great reminder. Patience. We all need more patience in our lives. What about
Absolutely.
looking what about looking into the future? Where would you like to see yourself and Centex in 5 years?
Oh God, in 5 years, we are going to have so many more features that we have right now and many more things that you can do on the platform. And you asked 5 years, and I started thinking about the things that we have on our list. And I started thinking about all of them being live and thinking it's going to be crazy. But there's a lot of things that I can't, I'm sorry, I can't talk about those right now. But I can talk about one of them that I can't share details, but it's one that we are particularly excited about, and it's Sentient World. We want to have land plots as well. This is not going to be an expensive land plot sale. This is connected to the Flower Punks collection that Sam did last year. So people that have a flower punk NFT will be able to mint a land plot for almost free. We want to make this really accessible. And the family of the flower punks, this is a trait. We have family and we have ranks. So the family is where your land plot will be located, and the ranks are the size of the land plot. So if you have a lower rank, you have a lower rarity land. And if you have a higher rank, you will have the higher rarity rank land as well. So this is something that we are really excited. It's not going to happen super, super soon. We need more manpower to make this happen. And if we don't have said manpower because we don't have a funds injection right now, it's going to take a bit longer, but we are, worst case scenario, we want to see this live Q3, Q4 2024. So it's still 2024 for sure.
Nice, something to look forward to then.
Yes, exactly. And then when we think 5 years down the line, we think sky's the limit, because the network is going to advance in terms of features. We are going to advance in terms of what we can do inside the platform because of that as well, because we see the network evolving constantly.
Mhm.
We saw this now with HTS20.
Mhm.
Like, it's a new feature. It wasn't here and now it's here. So we are going to be able to do more things with it as well. And we need to think about this way. Like 5 years from now, SentX is going to be completely different than it is today, because it's going to be a lot more advanced. As the network progresses, we are going to progress as well.
For sure. Talking of HCS20, is that something that somehow would be used or integrated with SentX?
We want to have an area to allow trading of HTS20. The reason why we don't have now, it's because for, for right now, it doesn't make sense yet. You need to have the standard out. You need to
Yeah.
have the Jubilee finalized. And when that happens, we are ready to implement that and have the same name as we have Hedera name services being a part of SentX. We are going to have the HTC 20 tokens as well. So yeah, definitely. But we
Exciting.
need everything to be super organized, because we are
Yeah,
like this. We like to have things super organized on a network level, on a feature level, before thinking about integrating into the platform. Because imagine that right now you start selling points and trending points for nothing, because you think they are not going to be valuable, and then the standard comes out, and you realize, what have I done? I had a lot of value here, and I traded this at SentX for peanuts. So let's wait until things are in place and everyone knows what this is all about. Yeah.
but didn't everyone do that with Bitcoin like 15 years ago? They just traded it for peanuts.
That's why we have BTC Pizza Day. We can't forget BTC Pizza Day.
Exactly. I have a question here from a community member, Hashcats. Or two questions actually. The first question is, what excites you the most about 2024 in general?
Mm.
I'm not sure if that was the question, or I kind of adjusted that actually. But yeah, what are you most excited about this year? Maybe you just answered that, but is there anything else that's come in 2024 that
About
you're really
this
excited
year,
about?
do you want to know SentX or crypto in general, Jack?
It could be in general as well, yeah.
In
Well,
general,
something you're
um,
personally excited about?
yes, in general, I'm super excited because I'm pretty confident that we are going to start the bull market this year in 2024. So this is something that I'm really excited because as we enter a real bull market, because right now we are getting hints here and there, the tokens are going up, we start to see a lot more volume, but it's not a bull market yet. It's the beginning. It's the baby
Mhm.
steps that lead to a bull market. And the reason why I'm excited is because I'm pretty confident that we are going to start it in 2024 and for real. And when I say started is when we start seeing coins going up 20 and 30% on the daily, because we know that this happens from the past cycles, and this will bring a lot more excitement into the ecosystem. This will bring a lot more eyes towards all the networks, and
Mm.
the same is going to happen with Hedera as well. As the HBAR price goes up, people will start focusing more on our token first, and then on our NFTs ecosystem as well, because everything will trickle down. And I'm excited because of that, because it's going to be good for us overall in everything, in all aspects. People will be a lot more excited. The ones that are already on HBAR and they have the token, they will be a lot more excited because they start seeing their bags increasing in value. So yeah,
Yeah, I think that that change of sentiment is, I think it's something we're all looking
absolutely.
forward to. Those of us who have been here working, building the foundation, right, and infrastructure, we want people to come and use it. That's exciting. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. That's it. Because right now we have our current community using it, but we know that we want a real stress test. We want 1,000 or 2,000 people trying to use the platform at the same time and
Mhm.
seeing what happens. If it stands, what will going to happen? And we are working for that. Like for example, in terms of servers, we have things like pretty much maxed out in terms of handling traffic, and in terms even for when we had the launchpad mints, we always made sure that we would escalate the servers to be able to deal with absolutely any amount of traffic that would come for a mint. And
Mhm.
fortunately, we never had a crash during the mint or anything like that, because we would prepare ourselves for that. But one thing is to prepare yourself for an event, and the other thing is having like a big amount of volume every single day at the same time. And we are really excited to be able to stress test the platform to the max. So yeah,
Nice.
let's go.
Let's go. So the last question wasn't from Hashcat. Hashcat's question is the next one. The first one you've kind of answered already. The second one is, have you considered an NFT airdrop campaign?
Airdrop campaign. Well, we had some of those in the past. There's the sentient beta cards. The beta cards were mints that were like mints at 5 bar, like really inexpensive, because
Mm.
they helped us really when we launched the launchpad side of things. So we would ask people to go and to mint and to try to be there at the same time to do that stress test. And we wanted to mint something that would be with an amount of HBAR to test the network transfers as well. So we have that. Right now, we are thinking about doing some campaigns for people that have SentX, the token, our rewards token for the platform, but doing major airdropping campaign. I don't think so. And maybe the person was asking, maybe Ashkats was asking about our SentX token. If it's about the SentX token, no, the SentX token will not be used to do an airdrop campaign. The SentX token is a reward token for the
Yeah.
platform. It makes no sense to tell people, okay, you are going to earn 0.002 SentX per HBAR spent, and those people are, I'm not saying working hard, but they are spending their, sorry, doorbell.
No
But
worries.
they are spending their H bar to get the reward token and then doing an airdrop campaign for the community in general. It makes no sense because we were telling the ones that are using the platform, um, we don't care about you. Because we told that this was going to be a reward token, and now we are giving it away like to everyone, even to the ones that don't use the platform. So no, if it was related to SentX token, we are not going to airdrop it.
There you
It's
have
a reward token for the ones that use the platform.
it. Absolutely. So I'm going to put you on the spot here for the last question. For
Yeah.
you personally, as Patricia, which projects within the Hedera ecosystem are you most bullish on?
Okay, so in terms of projects, the one that I'm most bullish about is, of course, SentX. You know that I need to be biased and say SentX, but there's so many projects that I love in the ecosystem, and my wallet speaks for myself, as you can imagine, because with over 800 H bars, 800 H bars, with over 800 H bar NFTs, well, if I was not a supporter of the ecosystem, I'm doing something wrong by having so many NFTs inside that wallet. But I really love the Dead Pixels Ghost Club. It's an amazing community. I'm really excited to see what Kabila is going to do in 2024 as well. We have Earthlings. It's an amazing project with so many things coming from them. We have Andy with the Citadel wallet. I'm super excited to receive my hardware wallet
Me too.
because I got the NFT and I want to start. I'm super nerdy and I love tech. So I'm super excited to get my hardware wallet and start using that and start testing that. So that's another one. Um, there are so many. And I feel awful by naming names because you know that when you name two or three,
Oh yeah.
you forget the other 50 or 100 that you should have named as well. But okay, and we have Littles as well with the rent CPU cards.
Oh,
Uh,
that's been a lot of
the,
fun.
yeah, right, with the little guy. I love that. And then you have Michael saying that, yeah, you guys are good people, except that you support this rent CPU guy. They are making this really funny. I love it. But then we have smaller projects as well that are trying to do things in the ecosystem at their own pace. For example, you have Inatria that belongs to Kuro as well. I have H Queens. H Queens is a super tiny project that I created mostly to help the local shelter here because I have three cats that I adopted from the local shelter, and as you can imagine, shelters are in deep trouble all the time. So H Queens was a way that I could up a bit my personal donations to the shelter. So
Mm.
I created H Queens for that reason as well. And in fact, I created H Queens even before being a SentX team member. And I stopped. It's not that I stopped. I never wanted H Queens to be a project where I would launch collection after collection after collection because I don't think it's okay to remove the liquidity from our community when a project tries to. It doesn't matter what's the cause. The cause is helping a shelter, okay, and people are happy to
Mhm.
mint because of that, but it doesn't matter. It's still liquidity that we are removing from our community, and I don't think that it's fair that a project does that once and after 2 months does it again and after 3 months again. And so there's very few mints for H Queens. And right now the project focus on giving free NFTs to holders mostly because since right now we also have the compensation from SentX, so I can use that to up my donations to the shelter as well. So I want to keep H Queens alive to reward the ones that minted the NFTs and helped at first, but I don't want to keep going to them to drain their liquidity away. I want them to be able to use that for other projects as well. And then, like I said, we have so many great projects, and I would have to pick my wallet and start telling you names after names after
We
names,
would need a
and
whole episode just for that. A whole episode just
exactly,
for that.
and we would be here until tomorrow.
Agreed, agreed. So is there anything we haven't touched on? Anything I haven't asked that you'd like to talk about?
I don't. I don't know. We talked about so many things at this point, and I loved all the questions. It was everything from personal life until to crypto. I don't think so. Do you think of anything that you would like to ask me still, Jack? Like absolutely anything? As I said, open book. Like ask
I,
away.
I I feel content. It's been a lot of fun. It's been great getting to know you a little bit more. Nearly in the flesh. I feel like this is the closest to flesh you get in
Exactly.
Web3. And
Absolutely.
I'm excited for this to go out to the community because I know they'll enjoy this. So I appreciate you for taking the time today.
I'm excited as well. And okay, I need to talk about this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I need to talk about this. I need to explain why I'm using Christmas sweater in 17th of January, the day that we are recording this interview. The NFT that allowed me to trade for this sweater was being auctioned at SentX. And I won that auction. I traded for the NFT for the sweater. I believe it was mid-December, but then it was shipped from the US and it came to Portugal on the 28th December. So on the 28th December, it was here in Portugal. And then it went to customs because you know how custom people love to hold our packages. So it went to customs, and I had to pay to clear it from customs. They didn't want anything else. They just want to charge me money to clear the package. And it was delivered last week. So I never had a chance to use my Hedera Christmas sweater during the holidays. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have the getting personal with Jack. I'm going to use my Christmas Hedera sweater because it's my last opportunity before Christmas of next year. Okay, this year because Christmas is still this year. But I didn't want to wait for like 10 months or 11 months to use my sweater for the first time. So here it is. My
Well,
lovely Hedera Christmas sweater.
I'm glad you have the opportunity. I would encourage you to use it for all interviews this year leading up to next Christmas. Why not?
Since I couldn't use it on Christmas, well, there's a saying, Christmas is when a man wants. In this case, when a woman wants. So it's going to be the
There you
full
go.
year, right?
There you go. It's been awesome, Patricia. Thank you. Thank you for
It
doing it
was,
today.
Jack. Thank you so much for the invitation. It was a real pleasure and really excited to see more from you, to see more from Kabila as well. And we are here to do great things for the ecosystem together for sure.
Amazing. Keep crushing it.
Absolutely. Thanks to Jack.